Tonight we're gonna have a funky time.
Welcome back to the 10 Man Podcast, where we know a little bit about a lot and a lot about a little bit. All right, so today I am going to be doing the World Economic Forum Global Leaders for Tomorrow, Class of 2000. Before I do that, I wanted to touch up on a little bit of what is a Global Future Council. Uh, as of their article, there's actually about 35 of these councils across the globe. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna read a little bit of what they say. We're gonna read about what they are, what they do, and who sits on the Global Future Council. I don't think they're going to name names directly, but we're gonna read a little bit before I get into the actual content, because there's only 13 of 2000 of class of 2000. So I'm going to read a little bit about what is a Global Future Council. All right, so we're going to get into it. Over 700 members of the World Economic Forum's newly created Global Future Councils are gathering in Dubai this month. Here's everything you need to know about our network of forward-looking thinkers from businesses, government, civil society, and academia. Fascism. Once again, this is the largest fascist society the world has ever seen. What are the Global Future Councils? We call them the world's foremost interdisciplinary knowledge network dedicated to promoting innovative thinking on the future. Specifically, the implications of the Fourth Industrial Revolution, the FIR. You might call them groups of experts. No, we won't. Experts of a lot of things. In fact, in total, there are 35 Global Future Councils, and each is focused either on what we like to call systems or on emerging technologies like blockchain or robotics. Systems are challenges that that are global in nature: climate change, migration, or income inequality, for example, or they relate to industries, for example, the future of health and healthcare, or the future of production. I don't trust none of the shit that they fucking espousing. What do? Well, each council member is a recognized world-leading expert in their particular field, whether as academic, business leaders, politicians, or from one of many other walks of life. First of all, they advise on the various initiatives that the forum is involved in, such as our work on closing the gender gap or tackling climate change, which is both farces. Bunch of fucking propaganda, that's what it is. But they also develop ideas independently, the best of which could get taken up by governments or other organizations. So who sits on the Global Future Council? There are unlikely to be heads of states from around the world or the leaders of international businesses, who you might expect to see at the World Economic Forum meetings. Yeah, we know. More on that coming up. You may never have heard of some of the interesting experts in our councils. For example, Hiroshi Ishiguro, a Japanese robot inventor who has built a doppelganger of himself that is so lifelike it is actually taught students in his place. Or Fang Zheng, the MIT biomedical engineer that owns the patent to CRISPR. We all know what CRISPR technologies can do. You don't like them. Not good for humanity, that's for sure. A technique that is becoming synonymous with editing the genes of plants, animals, and even humans. That's right, they want to edit your genes. Staying with technology, Ellen Stoffen, chief scientist at NASA, will be weighing in on our Future of Space Technologies Council, while Thomas Hendrik Ilves, or Ilves, former president of the Estonia and the veritable veritable cyber expert in his own right, is chair of the Council on the Future of Blockchain. Away from science, in Gary Woods, Dean of Oxford University, uh, Blavatnik School of Government, is chair of Council on Technology, Values and Policy, which sounds dry, but is likely to be the engine room for the large number of the ideas coming out of the meeting. We'll be looking out also for the contribution of Marvin Omori, General Counsel of Hyperloop One, the revolutionary transportation system that would help that could well be connecting between Dubai and Abu Dhabi in under 15 minutes versus a flight of over an hour in the future. Yes. So why do they matter? With all of the crises in the world that they're creating so they can have the solutions for, it feels like a real luxury for leaders to be able to focus on the future. But a lot of the trends council members are talking about in the context of the future are already being set in train, and in some cases are already happening today. Take migration, which is exacerbated by climate change and a lack of opportunities for inclusive economic growth. Bullshit. They want a borderless society so they can make global citizenship. That's what they're doing. You have to dilute the culture in which you're invading, because that's what it is, an invasion. No one asked for them to pour in like that. Like Italy just got like over 14,000 migrants or illegal immigrants, criminals, all war-aged men, single men, hardly any families you see on there. I'm not saying they don't have any, but very few uh, are just pouring in. Not to mention the U.S. non-existent border that we have here. There's certain countries that are going to get the most and the worst of it because they need to dilute the culture, erase the culture, traditions, in order to recreate the globalist culture and society that they want. It's a borderless society. They want you to be global citizens. Meetings like this are important for breaking up silos or breaking down silos. Same goes with the emerging technologies. We know that jobs are being lost as a result of automation and robotization. Robotization. That's a freaky word. And that new ethical challenges will arise as we discover more and more about how to read people's minds. Think about what they just said there. Or copy their genes. I'm going to read that one more time. We know that jobs are being lost as a result of automation and robotization, and that new ethical challenges will arise as we discover more and more about how to read people's minds or copy their genes. They're going to clone you. That's what they're going to do. That's what they've been doing. I don't have no doubt in my mind that they've already cloned people. I could be wrong. I don't care. I don't think I am. At this point, if you calling someone a conspiracy theorist, you're lying to yourself, for lack of a better term. They've already telling you what they're doing. Believe your enemy when they tell you what they want to do. Shifting to a mindset where problems and opportunities are assessed before they happen rather than when or after they happen is surely a good thing if it helps us be able to look forward to the future with optimism, to be inspired by it rather than scared by it. What is the Minority Report? That's pretty much. Look, if you want to know what they're doing, just look at every dystopian movie ever made, right? And you can take little pieces of every one of those movies, and that's what they're doing. No bullshit. Uh, Hunger Games, but yeah, every dystopian movie literally has a little bit of what they want to implement. Whether they did it themselves and left breadcrumbs to tell you what they was gonna do, or the people that was doing the movies seen what was gonna be happening, like 1984, for example, or even Brave New World. But this one right here, shifting the mindset where problems and opportunities are assessed before they happen. That's a Minority Report shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Tom Cruise movie where they actually predict crimes before they happen. One I did last night, episode that I did last night, actually went into talking about equilibrium, where people's, I think it was last night, it might have been the one before that, but basically they talk about people's emotions, not being able to have emotions, and that was equilibrium to the T. So yeah, just a little bit on the global Future Council. So without delaying any more, we're going to go on to the fascist uh, participants in the Global Leaders for Tomorrow class of 2000. So we're going to go ahead and start. This is 13 out of 94. First up, we got Jeff Arnold. Became a millionaire from WebMD.com, age 29, co-founder of ShareCare, with a friend from the GLT, the Global Leaders for Tomorrow class of 2000, which was highly influential on shaping and measuring altitudes around COVID-19. See if they got any more on him. That's the globalist cuck right there. That's him. That's him. Man, fucking doofus. So let's see. Let's see. That's all they're gonna tell us is the billionaire businessman. ShareCare. You showed us that. The ShareCare COVID-19 page reported as of May 2022 that roughly 80% of those with COVID-19 will develop a mild to moderate infection and recover. Yeah, while they're all dropping dead. Majority of them, at least. Next up, we got Ann Beeson. Ann Beeson is the Southern Poverty Law Center's Chief Program Officer, where she oversees programs to fight hate and dismantle white supremacy. The white supremacy is the people that are actually calling other people white supremacists. That's what this is. This is the Fourth Reich. These are the fucking Nazis. That's what they are. Uh, they can't find true white supremacy in the country, so they have to outsource from Ukraine in the Azov Battalion, and they're Nazis. That's what they have to do. They have to create the Nazis, pay them to come here, show them on camera a lot, give them some airtime. That way they can say that they have white supremacy in the country, which is all psyops and false flags. She is the executive director of the U.S. programs at the Open Society Foundations. And if you don't know what Open Society Foundations are, it is George Soros's foundation. So next up, we got Oleg Deripaska, a Russian billionaire, right? Oligarch. Is a Russian oligarch. Daniel Hopsicker writes that new evidence indicates that Oleg, the Russian billionaire who paid 10 million a year to Paul Manafort between '04 and '09. As you can see, he's been to the meetings since, what was it? Since, oh, shoot, you've been to a lot of them. first one he went to was in '07, I believe. Let's see what else he's got on it under his belt. He is the member of Russia Deep State. Yeah, pretty much it for now. Let's see if they got a little bit on him. Nope, that's it for now. So we're gonna go on to the next one. Next one is Eduardo Elstein. He is a businessman close to Edgar Bronfman and George Soros, the prime Argentine supporter of and fundraiser for the World Jewish Congress. What's the World Jewish Congress? We can look that up in a second. Annual conferee at the World Economic Forum, which selected him a young global leader in 2000. Let's look up what World Jewish Congress is. The UN Watch is a Geneva-based affiliate of the American Jewish Committee with ties to the U.S. State Department. It was established during the Bill Clinton administration in '93. In 2007, Ronald Lauder became president of the World Jewish Congress. Lauder is the chairman of the International Public Committee of the World Jewish Restitution Organization and chairman of the Jewish Heritage Council. He was former chairman of the Conference of Presidents of Major American Jewish Organizations. In 2008, Lauder is listed as supporter of the Herzliya Conference in Israel. So, who's next? Oh, here we go. Chrystia Freeland. We have a bit of living parody of everything wrong with the detached, technocratic, neoliberal order. Freeland is a Canadian politician. Matthew Ehret began in a 2019 story about her by opining that she, quote, has become a bit of a living parody of everything wrong with the detached, technocratic, neoliberal order, which has driven the world through 50 years of post-industrial decay, end quote. Well played, Matthew. Freeland is a prominent critic of Russia, who was banned from the country in 2014. Putin be banning everybody from that motherfucker, especially fucking Bourgeois, the white left. He can't stand these fucking liberals. I don't blame him. She happens also to be a friend of Victoria Nuland and a passionate supporter of her coup in Ukraine. That's right. Nuland is the one who picked Zelensky after they overthrew the Democratic elected president at the time, and then selected and implemented and planted Zelensky. Freeland is a co-chair of the Lima Group. Lima Group is a multilateral body that was established following the Lima Declaration, or Lima, on August 8th, 2017, the Peruvian capital of Lima, or Lima, I think it's Lima, where representatives of 12 countries met in order to establish a peaceful exit to the so-called crisis in Venezuela. Yeah, I bet they did, huh? Which is dedicated to the overthrow of Venezuela's president, Maduro. That's all they want to do. They just want to overthrow whoever don't want to go along with their globalist agenda. That's what they do. That's what they do. That's why they're trying to overthrow Putin right now. Now, I got my thoughts on why Putin locked up Navalny. Because I'm sorry, if the U.S. is championing Navalny, I already automatically believe that he is a globalist cuck, and he was going to get implemented just like Zelensky did, and the rest of these motherfuckers that we overthrew their democratically elected leaders. All right, so we're going to go on to the next one. We know Christless Freeland. Next up is Charles Kennedy, British Liberal Democrat politician, leader, and 2003 Iraq war opponent. Pressured to resign for alcoholism in 2006. I guess he ain't go along with his shit neither. Was a British Liberal Democratic politician who was the leader of the Liberal Democrats from 99 to 2006, member of Parliament. From 83 to 2015, Kennedy was elected to the House of Commons in 83, and after the alliance parties merged, becoming president of the Liberal Democrats, and following the resignation of Paddy Ashdown, leader of the Liberal Democrats, he led the party through two general elections, increasing its numbers of seats in the House of Commons to their highest level since 1923, and led his party opposition to the Iraq War. A charismatic and affable speaker in public, he appeared extensively on television during his leadership. During the latter stages of Kennedy's leadership, there was concern about both his leadership and his health. Some within the party were openly questioning his position and calling for the leadership election. In 2006, he was informed that the ITN would be reporting that he had received treatment for alcoholism. He preempted the broadcast by admitting that he had had treatment and would be and resigned as leader the following day. After Menzies Campbell succeeded him as leader, Kennedy remained in office as a backbench MP, where he voted against the formation of the Cameron-Clegg coalition. He died less than a month after being unseated from the House of Commons in 2015. It's tough. Next up, we got Joe Meacham, or Meacham, or it's John, I'm sorry, John Meacham, is an American writer, historian, and official biographer of President George H.W. Bush. Yeah, I bet he is. The Liberal World Order. A former executive editor and executive vice president at Random House. He is a contributing writer to the New York Times Book Review and contributing editor to Time. I bet he is. Next up, we got Ivan Miklos. Ivan Miklos attended the 2005 Bilderberg as Slovakia Minister of Finance. Miklos is a Slovak politician. Slovak politician. He was a Minister of Finance and Deputy Prime Minister of Slovakia from 2002 to 2006, and from 2010 to 2012. Miklos is an economic liberal politician who advocates higher economic growth and is opposed to redistribution. He don't want to redistribute anything. He wants to keep everything for themselves. Not surprised. Let's see if they got something else on it. Let's see. Miklos, economic. His role model is Friedrich August von Hayek, whose works he had read during the communist era. He was selected GLT in 2000, attracted international attention in 2004 when the country introduced the flat tax. When the single tax was introduced, he was sometimes referred to as the Mr. 19% by the Western media. He is the author of part of Slavic tax and social reforms and recipient of the 2005 Hayek Medal. Communists are giving medals out now? All right, next up we have Gabriela Nunes. I know y'all heard that name before. I've heard that name before. Don't know much about her. Once again, I know a little bit about a lot and a lot about a little bit. Gabriela Nunes is a Honduran politician who has been a deputy, a candidate for the presidency, Secretary of Finance, Minister, and President of the Central Bank of Honduras. She has also been an independent international consultant for the World Bank. The Inter-American Development Bank, and various corporations in Central America. She was elected GLT in 2000. She was the Minister of Finance in U.S.-backed coup government that ousted President Manuel Zelaya in 2009. So all these Nazis do. And see, this day and age, the modern day Nazism, it's not about race, it's about class, which is classic communism. And Marxism. Marxism focused on class, but in order to take down America, they got to go for race. Or both. See, these are also people you need to keep an eye out. All their siblings, all their kids and shit that they're teaching to be globalist. Oh, here we go. Mehmet Oz, young global leader, celebrity doctor who in March and April 2020 advocated use of hydroxychloroquine against COVID-19 and cautioned against shutting down schools, but later fell into lockstep with the WEF official narrative on matters COVID. Yes. Next up, we got Joshua Cooper Ramo, is a Kissinger protege. Cooper is the vice chairman and co-chief executive of Kissinger Associates. And Kissinger Associates was founded in 1982 in the New York City-based international consulting firm and geopolitical fixing house, founded and run by Henry Kissinger. One would say the architect behind the destruction of America. The firm helps clients to identify strategic partners and investment opportunities and advises clients on government relations throughout what? Throughout the world. Gotcha. Globalism. We get it. The consulting firm of former U.S. Secretary of State Henry Kissinger. He is also the author of several nonfiction books, including The Age of the Unthinkable and The Seventh Sense. Next up, we got Arundhati Roy. Is an Indian author, best known for her novel The God of Small Things in 1997. She is also a political activist for the anti-globalization, alter-globalization movement, and a vehement critic of neo-imperialism and U.S. foreign policy. Left-wing writer, activist with many dangerous enemies. That's a fun fact. So I would probably say she ain't running with the WF unless she caved to him. Next up, we got Martin Versavsky, Argentina businessman based in Spain who founded several companies worldwide. Let's see what else they got on it. I guess that is it. He's only been to Davos once. He is mentioned in the Jeffrey Epstein Black Book. Red flag already. All right, and that will conclude our video of the global leaders for tomorrow, class of 2000. I have one that I'm about to upload. This one will be getting edited also. But until then, I appreciate you sticking around, supporting the channel, growing slowly, but slowly growing. So with that said, I will, like, sub, share also, all that jazz. Help me reach as far as I can because my reach is limited. You know, it's freedom of speech, but not reach on a WEFX/Twitter. But this is why I post originally to Rumble and then share to all the rest of the platforms, because Rumble is the truth. But until then, I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.